Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the New Orleans Saints. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime, but kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the Arizona Cardinals. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Saints getting set to take over, and they will be led out by the all-time leading passer in NFL history in his 19th year now in the NFL, Drew Brees. This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Shotgun now for Brees. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
The steal in the 2017 NFL Draft had to be running back Alvin Kamara out of Tennessee, who ended up being that year's NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. Split time with Mark Ingram his first 2 years in the league. With Mark Ingram now in Baltimore, it's his show. And through his first 2 years...
And that's going to be intercepted. The all-pro corner, Patrick Peterson. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. Well, we know that Murray can run the football. He rushed for 1,000 yards during his final year at Oklahoma, better than 7 yards per carry. And Cliff Kingsbury says, I trust him running the football. This is a guy that has known his quarterback since 2012 when Murray was a sophomore in high school. Kingsbury was in the OC at Texas A&M. He would go on to take the Texas Tech job, but the two maintained a great relationship. Both are from Texas, both quarterbacks, and both with fathers heavily involved in their football careers. With Cliff Kingsbury, he trusts his quarterback implicitly. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Cardinals first down as well. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
This is David Johnson, the former All-Pro, and he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 10 more there and another first down. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
He gets it halfway there with that run. I think you play up-tempo, get right back on the line of scrimmage, and hammer at him again.
2nd and goal from the 1. They'll run it with Johnson. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Possession of the ball here going back to the New Orleans Saints, who, as we noted earlier, moved to 6-1 with that Week 7 victory in Chicago, their 5th straight win. Gosh, they did it without Alvin Kamara, without Jared Cook, of course, without Drew Brees. I think you've told me, correct me if I'm wrong, you think this is the best team in the NFC.
That I believe. I absolutely believe they are number 1 in the NFC right now, and it's because of their defense. Because guys like Cameron Jordan, Demario Davis, their linebacker, Marshawn Lattimore at the corner. I think this team is complete. They can suffocate people on the defensive side. Obviously, they can score. you know that New Orleans offense is always ready to explode. One more game until their open week. They're home against Arizona in Week 8. They should go into the open week feeling very good about themselves.
That backs them up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I've played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Chandler Jones has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now 1 in the first quarter. What do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move, but the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And you don't pile up that many sacks. What do you have, 4 in the game last week without having some go-to moves with counters.
Cardinals coming back out here on offense, and we referenced earlier where they sit right now at 3-3-1 with those back-to-back-to-back wins. Now the question, Charles, look, they're still in the looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams, and he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. He'll get 4 yards on the carry there, and we will get to the end of the first quarter of play.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Breeze now to throw. Open man is Michael Thomas. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Blitz coming, and And down he goes. Rodney Gunter. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Well, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Murray, complete. It's Johnson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. Okay, partner, let's mix things up a bit. This is something that's been a staple of morning television programs for a long time. Let's bring it to Madden, some power rankings. Give me your top 5 through 7 weeks.
All right, I'll start with number 5, and that's the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson, he can throw it as well as run it, but his running, that's so exciting. Number 4, the Green Bay Packers. Looks like Aaron Rodgers and his head coach, Matt LaFleur, looks like they're in sync, and the Packers are playing awfully well right now. Number 3, San Francisco. Their defense built to travel. They can play anywhere and take on anyone, and they run the ball on offense. Number 2, New Orleans. They've survived without Drew Brees. In fact, they flourished with Teddy Bridgewater, and their defense, vastly underrated, one of the top 3 in the league. And last but not least, shocker, New England. And I did think about putting New Orleans ahead of New England, but New England's defense is the best in the league, and Tom Brady on the other side, they still reign supreme.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together, the front and back.
A breakaway from Michael Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas as the first half is winding down, and the Saints have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So we've hit halftime. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. A reminder, later tonight, Sunday Night Football will see a game in the NFL 100 series, a rematch of the very first AFL-NFL championship game, later, of course, known as Super Bowl I. It pits the Packers against the Chiefs from Arrowhead, and that should be a fun one. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. The defense pushing the run game back on the first play of the third quarter.
But I don't think that means abandoning the run totally. Sometimes you just have to focus on execution, right? They always talk about players, not plays. Well, tell your players to block a little bit better, and maybe the ground game can get going.
15 yards on the play, first down. Throwing on first down is Murray. That's complete to Edmonds, his running back. It's a gain of 7, and it's a 2nd down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I do know that owners, when they watch their quarterbacks run with the football, they usually hold their breath because that's the franchise. But when you're getting that kind of a game, hard to argue against calling it.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Cameron Jordan has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Another try after the first down sack. Murray looking middle, and that's complete. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talking about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Yeah, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And running with power here. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Here's Breeze to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. So all the way down close to the goal line. Good blocking up front. Helped to spring him.
When this drive is over, he's got to get to the bench and sing Kumbaya with the offensive line, doesn't he? Big-time openings for him. Gets him all the way down to the 2-yard line. Let's see if they can pound it in.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to force it to his tight end Clay there, but it'll be 2nd and goal. On the toss, here's Johnson. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys are able to regain the lead. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Breeze now on first down. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. To try again after the sack. Breeze. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
The open man is Smith. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. Drew Brees, 6 fourth-quarter comebacks a season ago, and that led the NFL. He'll try to deliver another one. Brees now. Complete. Smith has it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Breeze now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Breeze to throw again. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Hassan Reddick with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
So here are the Cardinals to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Second down, Murray sets to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Murray now to throw. And he's got Fitzgerald. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. They'll run it with Johnson. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. A lot of people felt Johnson was a little misused during what was a disappointing 2018. 940 yards on the ground, 7 touchdowns. Great for most, but not the season Johnson was hoping for. And he said this offseason, there are a lot of good running backs in the NFL, but I'm the best. And now he's trying to prove it, hoping to get back to the production that sent him to the Pro Bowl in 2016. That would certainly help his rookie quarterback. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Murray to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. He'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The linebacker, Jordan Hicks, flying in there for the sack. Back to throw. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
To throw is Breeze. Thomas has got it, complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
He's back to throw. Ginn has it complete. And some room to maneuver. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 41 yards. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down 1 is tempted to go for 2. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd carried into overtime.
I'm with you. I do see some fans, though, holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Murray with a 3rd and long. And a throw there going to be incomplete. I know there may be temptation to go for it here in overtime, but you have to punt the football.
I like how emphatic you are about it because I know the tendency is, as a player, let's go get this thing. You're actually telling your coach, come on, coach, we can get it. We have that play call. And the head coach has to remember, that play call likely isn't there. Punt the ball away. Punt it away. Be smart.
Trust your defense.
Trust them.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in the game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime.
Check, 43. Let's go, dude. Tighten up. Let's go tonight.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So for New Orleans, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Arizona, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.